You know, the movies, the music, all the amazing content we love, it doesn't just appear out of thin air. There's this whole hidden business side to it. And today, we're pulling back the curtain on creativity's other customer. Let's get right into it.
Think about it for a second. You're watching a movie or just scrolling through your feed, and suddenly there it is, a super specific, real-world product right in the middle of the action. It can feel totally natural, but you know what? It's almost always there by design. And that points to a really fascinating truth about how all this creative stuff gets made.
And right there, that's the big secret. For every single piece of content you consume, there isn't just one customer. You know, the person watching or listening. Nope, there's a second one, a much less obvious one. The businesses that look at that content and see something more than just art. They see an opportunity.
And this is how it all breaks down. See, there are two totally different kinds of value going on here. For us, the audience, the value is the experience. It's the feeling you get from a great film, the vibe of a song. But for that business customer, the value is totally different. They're not buying the experience, they're buying access to the people having that experience. They're basically buying a direct channel to you.
So what do they get for their money? Well, it pretty much boils down to three things. First is reach, getting their product in front of exactly the right group of people. Second is knowledge, just making you aware that their thing even exists. And third, and this is the magic part, is image, linking their brand to all the good feelings you have for a character or a story.
Now, to make all this happen, brands and creators have this amazing toolkit they use. We're going to break down the three biggest, most powerful strategies they use to turn a piece of art into a channel for communication.
All right, first up, we're going to look at the art of hiding in plain sight, what we all know as product placement. Then, we'll dive into a classic, borrowing a famous face or celebrity endorsements. And finally, we'll get into its super modern version, the rise of influencers. Let's start at the top. Okay, so this first tool is one you've probably seen a million times, maybe without even thinking about it. Product placement is a huge industry now, mainly because, well, in a world that's just flooded with ads, it's a much more subtle way to get the message across.
So the official, kind of fancy term for it is the purposeful incorporation of a brand into an entertainment vehicle. A better way to think of it is hybrid advertising. Instead of cutting away to a commercial that interrupts your show, the advertisement becomes part of the show. It's a much softer sell, and it's designed to feel way more authentic.
And what's it trying to do to our brains? It's really a three-step process. The first goal is cognitive, just making you remember the brand exists. So next time you're shopping, it pops into your head. The second is affective. That's about making you feel good about the brand by connecting it to a character you like. And the ultimate goal, of course, is behavioral, turning that memory and that good feeling into you actually wanting to buy it. But, you know, getting it right is a real balancing act. Whether it works or not depends on a few things. You've got prominence and modality. Like, is it just a quick flash on screen, or is it a major part of the plot? Is it just seen, or do the characters talk about it? And maybe most important is congruence. Does it even make sense for that character to be using that product? And then there's us, and our own skepticism. The second we spot it and think, an ad, the magic is kind of gone. Okay, let's move on to the second tool in the kit. This one's a total classic. Using a famous person to be the face of your brand. It's been around forever, but the psychology behind why it's so powerful is it's fascinating. And this quote just nails it. The key thing to understand is that brands don't just hire celebrities because they're famous. They hire them because celebrities are like walking, talking bundles of meaning. They already stand for something in our minds, whether it's athleticism, luxury, or rebellion. And a brand can just borrow that meaning.
This whole process has a name. It's called the meaning transfer model, and it's a simple three-step journey. Step 1, our culture gives a celebrity a certain meaning. Step 2, an endorsement literally transfers that meaning from the celebrity over to a product. And step 3, we, the consumers, buy that product to get a little piece of that meaning for ourselves. It's an incredible pipeline from culture right into your shopping cart.
And that brings us to our third and final tool, which basically takes that core idea of endorsement and gives it a massive update for the social media age. Influencer marketing isn't exactly new, but the way it's become this formal, core part of a brand strategy, that's a total game changer. So at its heart, it's just a formal partnership between a brand and someone with a following on social media. And it can look like a lot of different things. A sponsored post, an affiliate link where they get a cut of the sales, you name it. It essentially takes what feels like a personal recommendation and turns it into a structured business deal.
And it's not a one-size-fits-all world, not at all. The whole industry is broken down into these tiers based on audience size. A brand might hire a mega influencer with millions of followers just to get their name out there. But they might also team up with a bunch of nano influencers who have smaller but super dedicated niche audiences, where trust is absolutely everything.
So what really makes an influencer influential? The first half of their DNA is all about connection. It has to start with authenticity and relatability, that feeling that you have a personal bond with them. Then you need real expertise in their niche, and obviously, content that's actually engaging. It all comes back to building trust.
But then there's the other half of the DNA, and that is pure performance. Brands look way beyond just the follower count. They're looking at engagement. Are people actually liking, commenting, and sharing? They want to see that audience is growing, and they need to work with people who are professional and reliable. It all has to be wrapped up in a strong, unique personal brand. For the businesses, these numbers are everything.
But really, if you strip away all the metrics, all the analytics, all the jargon, it all comes down to one single word: authenticity. The entire system completely falls apart without it. The second an audience thinks an influencer is just shilling a product for a paycheck, that trust and all the value for the brand just evaporates.
So when you zoom out, it doesn't matter if it's a tiny product placement in a huge movie, a global superstar on a billboard, or a niche creator making a 15-second video. For that second customer, the business, the goal is always the same. They are using creativity as a bridge to build a relationship with you.
And that's really the final thought to leave you with. The next time you're watching something or scrolling through your phone and you see a brand you recognize, just pause for a second and think about what's really going on. Sure, the content was made for you, the audience, but the message hidden inside, that might have been made for you, the consumer. And the real question is, in that moment, which one are you?